the shore between worlds. It began like most things begin quietly, in a moment too small to notice. She had stopped counting the days somewhere between her third overworked year and her sixth unanswered prayer. The city buzzed with life but never touched her. Even in crowds, the weight of silence filled her chest like seawater. Something had to give or she would dissolve entirely. So, she left. A sudden impulse somewhere between desperation and instinct guided her online, searching for escape. A listing: private beach house. Remote, quiet, ocean-facing. Sleeps 1 or 2. The photos stirred something beneath her ribs. The place didn't look particularly luxurious, but there was a scent to it, a scent that slipped between the pixels like a memory. Cedar, sand, the hush before rain. She booked it without hesitation. The house stood alone on a cliff that wept into the sea. The air tasted of salt and moss, and the sky was the color of secrets kept too long. A long stretch of beach curved below like an open arm. Inside, the walls breathed. She didn't know how else to describe it. The space was warm, untouched, yet lived in by something older than her years. A candle sat unlit on the windowsill, and beside it, a folded slip of paper. "Welcome home. You've already been expected." That night, she slept in a bed that felt like memory. The sheets cradled her with the weight of hands that had once known her. A hum settled beneath her bones, barely audible, a pulse just beyond the ear. The kind of sound that made you feel seen even with your eyes closed. She began to dream. In these dreams, she walked the shoreline, always at twilight, and always someone walked behind her. She never turned around, didn't need to. She could feel the presence like a second tide, matching her rhythm exactly. Not watching, but with. Sometimes, a whisper would drift through the sea wind. Not words, just a tone, familiar as her own longing. It stirred something in her chest, something not touched in years. She would wake with tears on her cheek and a single phrase in her head. "You are not alone. You never were." Days passed like breath. She did nothing. She did everything. She unraveled. Her hands stopped trembling. Her thoughts slowed to the rhythm of waves. And when the silence came, she welcomed it not as a void, but as presence. A presence that lived between her breaths and underneath the ordinary. One evening, as dusk smeared lavender across the sky, she lit the candle. The scent of jasmine and amber rose in the air. Something shifted. The room didn't brighten, it deepened. A golden warmth settled around her spine, then her heart. She sat cross-legged, palms open, and whispered nothing at all. And yet she felt the answer. The next dream came stronger. She walked the beach again, but this time she reached the edge of the world, where land met stars. And there he stood, not a stranger, not a god, just a presence that had always been. A voice she'd heard between words her whole life, as like still water. He did not speak. He didn't have to. She stepped forward. He offered her a mirror. But when she looked, she did not see herself. She saw moments, every tear, every crack, every soft ache, held in golden light. Behind her reflection he stood, not behind her, with her. And then she understood. The flame that had guided her here had always been lit. The whisper in the dark had always been hers. She awoke with his scent on her skin, salt, cedar, and amber. Her hands still tingled from where his had rested in the dream. But when she looked around, there was no one. Just the waves, just the wind. And on the windowsill, where the candle had burned out, a fresh note. "You are held. You are remembered. You are loved." She stayed another week. When she returned to the city, something had changed. The world still rushed. Deadlines still screamed. But within her, there was a stillness. and sometimes walking home at night or lying half asleep, she would feel a pulse in her chest. Not hers, not quite. A rhythm she knew by now. Presence in the shadows. The warmth behind her spine. The scent of amber and rain. The echo of a voice that said, every time she was close to forgetting, "You are not alone. I am still with you, and I always will be."